honestly, once you leave something, and there are other issues, I can't really talk about.
In a twist more shocking than a bad karaoke performance on live TV, music mogul Simon Cowell, known for his signature sass, tight shirts, and tighter judging standards, has slowly tiptoed away from the spotlight. And fans are scratching their heads like they just heard a cat sing opera. It all started when whispers turned into worried murmurs about the sudden vanishing of Courtney Hadwin, the once shy British teen whose AGT performance made everyone wonder if Janis Joplin had taken a time-traveling detour. But recently, the buzz isn't about another powerhouse performance. It's about Courtney's eerie silence and Simon's equally cryptic withdrawal. Once a man glued to red carpets and cameras like cheese on pizza, Simon is now MIA from scheduled events, with the official excuse being personal reasons, which is showbiz speak for "don't ask, I won't tell." At first, fans thought he might be prepping a surprise show, a comeback, or even a vacation from his own overexposed face. But when he pulled out of high-profile gigs without so much as a sassy tweet, the vibe turned from mysterious to mildly alarming. The internet, of course, did what it does best, speculate wildly. Was he heartbroken? Was it burnout? Did he finally discover the joy of slippers and tea at 6 p.m.? But a deeper layer emerged as breadcrumbs of sadness began leading back to Courtney. Could this be more than just a fame-fatigue siesta? Is Simon processing something beyond the glare of the camera lights? With no formal statement, but plenty of "he looked kinda down" sightings, fans now find themselves in a suspenseful emotional limbo, wondering whether this is the calm before a storm, or the slow curtain call on a story that once lit up the world. And with Simon's famous silence speaking louder than a contestant's off-key note, the world waits, refreshes Twitter, and nervously clutches a box of tissues, just in case. When Courtney Hadwin first shuffled nervously onto the stage of America's Got Talent, nobody expected the musical equivalent of a thunderclap in Converse sneakers. She looked like she had just wandered into the wrong room looking for a library, barely muttering her name and citing her favorite artists, Janis Joplin and James Brown, like she was reading out a grocery list. Even Simon Cowell, king of sarcastic squints, seemed ready to endure another awkward, bless-her-heart moment. But then the music hit, and boom, Courtney morphed into a pint-sized rock and roll sorceress possessed by the ghosts of Woodstock. Her limbs flailed like they had minds of their own, her voice gravelly and fierce enough to wake Elvis himself, and the crowd's collective jaw hit the floor like a poorly secured wig. It wasn't just a performance, it was a musical exorcism, and Simon's face went from mildly skeptical to full-on, "Did I just see a unicorn?" Within hours, the video went viral, causing phones to explode and Wi-Fi routers to beg for mercy. She didn't just sing. She time-traveled, soul-punched, and emotionally walloped everyone into stunned applause. Comment sections overflowed with phrases like "channeling Janis," "How is this real?" and "I need a moment." Simon, known for handing out praise like it's made of gold bars, declared, "You're not from this era. You're from another planet!" And just like that, Courtney wasn't just a contestant. She was a one-woman rock renaissance who reminded us that true talent doesn't need auto-tune, glitter, or backup dancers dressed as glow sticks. The transformation from stammering teen to mic-melting Marvel was so dramatic, we half expected Marvel Studios to offer her a cape. It was raw, it was real, and it was utterly unforgettable. And as it turns out, it would be the beginning of a journey more mysterious than a magician's taxes, and far more heartbreaking than anyone could have imagined. While most contestants would have happily ridden the fame wave until their social media accounts burst at the seams, Courtney Hadwin hit pause, and then just stayed paused. After her rocket-fueled AGT debut, many expected her to start popping up on magazine covers, red carpets, and possibly even cereal boxes. But instead, she vanished into a mist of lo-fi Instagram posts and cryptic Spotify singles. Her social media presence was the digital equivalent of Bigfoot, blurry, rare, and always gone by the time you tried to show your friend. Unlike the usual fame-hungry performers who post hourly selfies with motivational captions like "Rise and Grind," Courtney's content was minimal. music-focused, and often disappeared faster than a cupcake at a birthday party. Interviews? Almost non-existent. Press tours? Nope. Red carpet appearances? As rare as Simon Cowell in sweatpants. And yet her fan base didn't just survive, it grew. People latched on to her enigma like a good cliffhanger in a soap opera. She didn't need clickbait. She had soul. And soul, apparently, doesn't care for hashtags. To the world, she became a kind of musical ghost, appearing just long enough to haunt us with a new song before vanishing into the creative mist again. Some thought she was being strategic or playing the long game, but the longer the silence lasted, the more her mystery deepened. It became clear Courtney wasn't ghosting us for fun. This wasn't a fame detox or a digital nap. Something deeper was unfolding. And while her fans waited patiently for the next post, performance, or even proof of life, one thing was becoming painfully clear. Courtney wasn't dodging fame. She was drifting away from it entirely, and no one knew why. For a man whose default mood is somewhere between sarcastic thundercloud and grumpy music Yoda, Simon Cowell's relationship with Courtney Hadwin was shockingly gentle. No public fanfare, no splashy headlines, just quiet, deliberate support, like a protective dad in designer sunglasses. After Courtney's jaw-dropping debut, insiders whispered that Simon invited her and her family to his home. Not for a headline-making promo dinner with sparkling water and staged laughter, but for a private, off-the-record chat that smelled more like concern than contracts. Not long after, she signed with Simon's label, Psycho Music. But this wasn't your typical, let's monetize the magic record deal. According to those in the know, it was more like a safety net, designed to shield her from the glitter-hungry, soul-chewing machine that is the entertainment industry. No album deadlines, no forced tours, just time, space, and perhaps most precious of all, quiet. Rumors swirled that Simon even stepped in to block media deals that felt a little too circusy for Courtney's quiet vibe. He wasn't trying to turn her into the next pop princess. He was trying to keep her intact. Which, let's be honest, is about as rare in showbiz as a unicorn riding a Segway. Simon, known for crushing dreams in 15-second bursts, became a guardian of one very specific voice, a voice that clearly mattered to him more than ratings or royalty checks. And while he never broadcasted his support on social media or posed for PR-friendly selfies with her, the behind-the-scenes reality painted a different picture. One of quiet loyalty and unexpected tenderness from a man who usually treats emotions like expired coupons. It didn't happen overnight, and maybe that's why it took everyone so long to notice. There was no dramatic farewell post, no meltdown live stream, no chaotic I'm outta here tweet storm. Courtney Hadwin simply faded, slowly, like a curtain closing 1 inch at a time. One day she was releasing raw, soul-piercing singles like Breakable and Happy Christmas, and the next she was gone, like a magician's rabbit, except with more emotional depth and less top hat. Fans assumed she was taking a breather, catching her breath, maybe crafting a genius album in secret. But the weeks turned into months, and the months into, has anyone seen Courtney lately? Reddit threads. People blamed everything from music label drama to creative block, but none of it added up. Her social accounts became eerily quiet, her comments locked like a vault, and photos posted without captions, if they were posted at all. The silence wasn't just puzzling, it was heavy. The kind of quiet that makes your stomach twist, like waiting for a phone call you're not sure will come. And what made it even more unsettling was Simon Cowell's sudden radio silence, too. The man who once proudly praised her as lightning in a bottle seemed to disappear right alongside her. Were they both just avoiding the madness of modern fame, or was something else happening behind the scenes? Either way, the vibe had shifted. The applause was gone, the lights had dimmed, and in their place was a haunting absence that felt far more permanent than a break. For someone as cryptic as Courtney Hadwin, fans always looked to her lyrics for clues. But lately, those lines started sounding a little too close to real-life confessions. One track murmured, "If I told you everything, you'd never hear me the same way again." Another ended with the soft, repeated word, "goodbye." It hit fans like a surprise onion. unexpected and eye-stingingly emotional. Then came a blurry video from a small-town venue, Courtney on stage, her voice still fierce but her frame visibly thinner, her expression distant. No meet and greet after, no playful waves, just a quiet exit through the back door, escorted by someone who looked less like a tour manager and more like a medical professional. Uh-oh. That clip barely survived 24 hours online before vanishing faster than a rumor in reverse. Around the same time, a blog post popped up from someone claiming to have worked on her early music sessions. In it, they referenced a private health matter that derailed her career. But before the internet could collectively gasp, the post disappeared too. Fans naturally turned into digital detectives, zooming into old album covers and analyzing lyrics like they were trying to decode the Da Vinci Code. But the clues didn't comfort. They hinted. And if you were paying attention, they whispered a truth no one wanted to hear. This wasn't a marketing move. It was a warning wrapped in rhythm. If there's one thing Simon Cowell never runs out of, it's opinions. But recently, his signature sarcasm and confident one-liners took a mysterious vacation when he unexpectedly canceled a high-profile London showcase for personal reasons. Fans raised their collective eyebrows higher than his waistline in those tight black shirts. This wasn't the Simon they knew, the one who shows up everywhere with perfectly shaped stubble and a comment sharper than a cactus in a blender. Industry whispers claimed he skipped not just one, but multiple appearances, including a reunion segment for AGT, his baby. Some folks said he looked drained. Others said he walked out of a private event with watery eyes, which is practically a Category 5 emotional emergency coming from a man whose resting face is 80% judgment. No official statement followed, of course. Just a trail of missed events and unanswered questions. One paparazzi managed to corner him outside a London bistro and asked about his absence. His reply? Some things are more important right now. Boom. Drop the mic, cue the piano of doom, and roll the speculation montage. Fans didn't need more. That 5-word sentence hit harder than any golden buzzer ever could. It was clear something personal had shaken the unshakable Simon. But what? Or more precisely, who? Here's where the rumor mill shifted from, maybe she's just on a break, to this might be something really, really bad. Across comment threads, fan forums, and blogs that mysteriously self-destructed after a day, one phrase kept popping up like an uninvited guest at a birthday party: tragic diagnosis. No details, no confirmations, just those two ominous words sending emotional panic through fan circles like a fire drill without an exit plan. Some guessed neurological, others whispered autoimmune, and a few, gasp, said the dreaded T word, terminal. But no official health records, no family statements, just a rising tide of, we really hope this isn't true. And then there's Simon, whose behavior has fueled these fears faster than a TikTok scandal. His sudden step back from the spotlight, his quietness, his canceled appearances, it all points to a man processing something too heavy for a press release. The way he reportedly turned down 2 major interviews and was spotted looking visibly shaken was more than just jet lag. It was personal, emotional, and fans everywhere felt it in their bones. Without a word from Courtney, her team, or Simon himself, people are left piecing together an emotional jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. But when silence feels louder than words, you start to suspect the story you're not being told is the one that hurts the most. With Courtney's silence growing louder than a mic drop in a library, fans did what fans do best. They turned her old videos into digital shrines. Suddenly, comment sections from 2019 started lighting up with heartfelt love notes, poetic goodbyes, and enough virtual hugs to crash a server. Messages like, "You helped me find myself," and "Even if you never sing again, you changed my life," flooded YouTube, TikTok, and even that one weird Facebook group that still believes Courtney is secretly recording in a forest. People weren't just reminiscing, they were grieving, softly, as if her disappearance was more than career-related. It felt emotional, heavy, like they were pre-writing the eulogy for a voice that shaped their teenage years. Fellow AGT contestants dropped subtle support posts like, "Thinking of you today," or "Wherever you are, stay strong." And suddenly even the casual fans realized this wasn't your average PR stunt. This was something deeper. And while the silence from Courtney and Simon remained absolute, the fan base began filling the void with hope, love, and oddly specific conspiracy theories involving hospital bracelets and song lyrics. It became a collective therapy session conducted via YouTube comments. No official statement, but the support was real, emotional, raw, and somehow comforting. In the world of showbiz, silence is often just a pause before the next big thing. But this time, it feels different, haunting, permanent. Fans have started treating Courtney Hadwin's early performances like sacred artifacts, analyzing every lyric for hidden meaning and pausing every frame of her first audition like they're searching for a secret code. Songs once hailed as powerful now feel like veiled farewells, and that repeated goodbye lyric has taken on the emotional weight of 1,000 violins. Meanwhile, Simon Cowell continues to step back. His once flashy media presence reduced to ghostly glimpses and short interviews where he mumbles cryptic phrases like, "Some people never leave you." Dude, that's not cryptic. That's straight out of a Nicholas Sparks movie. Whether this is a final curtain call or just a very, very long intermission, one thing's clear. The emotional connection between Simon and Courtney wasn't just for TV ratings. It was something real, raw, and devastating. And now, with both of them gone from the spotlight, we're left with silence, a silence that feels a lot like mourning. But amid the heartache, the playlist keeps spinning. Her voice, croaky, powerful, and heartbreakingly human, still echoes in bedrooms, earbuds, and hearts. And maybe, just maybe, that's her way of reminding us she's still here. Not physically, perhaps, but musically, always.